Entrepreneurs, we back with another episode of the Make It Count podcast. And today we got a real special guest, one of my mentors, one of the guys I look up to, Mr. Derick from Cold Fever. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people, Mr. Derick.
Yo, I'm Derick Pearson, one of the co-founders of Cold Fever Miami Inc. And we put on a series of events. Our largest event is Black Tech Week. We have a VC in residence program, as well as coding boot camps. So we have right now we're at our co-working space, a space called Tribe. So we're trying to revitalize Overtown, bring it back to its glory days, where we have a lot of black professionals walking up and down the street, inspiring each other and inspiring the youth.
That's pretty cool. So before we go ahead and get started, I just want you to go ahead and give a little people about your background, let them know how you got started in the tech world and things like that.
Okay, well, started when I was in my 6th grade year, middle school.
Okay.
So we had a computer, actually started before that. My father had a desktop, one of those old desktops, you know what I mean, back when I was in elementary school. We used to play around with it, upgraded the hardware. I used to buy hard drives and make sure we have enough RAM. And that's when you had those little dial-up modems. Kids don't even know what they are right now. But that sparked my interest in computers. But when I was in the 6th grade, I joined a computer club.
Okay.
So that computer club, we would take computers apart. We would play Duke Nukem all day. I don't know if you all know what Duke Nukem is. It's a shooter game on a PC. But we used to rock that, and that was the beginning of my interest in coding. When I went to Morehouse College, I was majoring in computer science before I switched over to mathematics and economics. And but when I started working at Target as a financial analyst, I was pretty much had an IT job, so I never stopped using it. So the only reason I switched my major from computer science was because my professor told me that if he had a choice to do it all over again, he would have majored in business as opposed to computer science.
Okay.
But I'm saying you're making 6 figures. Why you telling me that? You know, like you should have just said do a double major, but
Yeah.
that's all right.
So that's pretty cool, man. You started out very young in computers. So with you having that interest in playing with the computer and doing that type of stuff, what made you get into the side of coding besides just playing with it?
Yo, man. So my admissions essay to Morehouse College was I wanted to be a pillar in the black community.
Okay.
And the way the black people can gain money, a lot of money quickly, is through the internet and through creating software technology companies. We have to change the way we view technology. It allows you to scale your business. So whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to grow, you can scale that business, you know what I mean, like with technology. So when you go to South by Southwest for the first time, you see that's where a lot of tech companies are launching their businesses. That's where they have a whole track called Interactive, where they talk about that you have technology professionals, businesses, and lobbyists, and creators and developers right there in that one spot. And we weren't there. I didn't see people who looked like us there.
Okay.
So we wanted to create that same experience here in Miami. Because there's no need for people to be saying like, oh, I wish I was living in New York, I wish I was living in Atlanta, I wish I was in LA. You create the environment that you want. So we created the environment that we want. We brought Black Girls Code down. They didn't do year-round programming in Miami, so we continued to do the programming with Cold Fever. So that was the first foray in creating that tech ecosystem here in Miami and the meetups, bringing everybody, making everybody aware of what was going on at Lab Miami when it just popped up in Wynwood. Nobody knew what the hell it was. Okay. So we wanted to get our people involved from the jump start. So you create, if you're involved from the beginning, if we are involved from the beginning, that means that they can't add us later. We're not missing out on anything. We can say, hey, black people were here doing their thing from the very beginning.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man, and that's great. Just being shows that you guys are innovators in the tech space and basically just trying to get Black people to know their talents.
Yeah.
And because I actually took one of you guys coding classes before, and just to see, the impact from you guys just teaching us the basic stuff of how to create a website, how to pitch your idea to a bigger investor or something like that. So when you guys started out, did you immediately start in the tech space, or what business did you start out with first when you started your own business?
So when I started my own business, we started a popsicle business.
Okay.
Feverish Pop. So we had gourmet popsicles. Everybody know Felicia and Derek as the popsicle people. You know what I'm saying? We had marijuana infused popsicles before anybody was doing it. So and alcoholic popsicles. So yeah, but yeah, we were that was our first business. So Felicia, she started her entrepreneurial journey way before me. She did hers when she was in college, freshman year in college. So she started a PR agency as well as a training organization to get kids, to teach them about scholarships.
So when you guys first started the popsicle company, how involved was you guys in the tech space at that time?
So I was less involved. I was in tech and finance at Target. But after I left that, we got into experiential marketing. We did experiential marketing campaigns for Nintendo Wii Fit. We did a product launch. So me and Felicia were West Coast managers before Wii Fit even came out. We were responsible for them things being sold out in the stores. Wow. You know what I mean? So people don't even know about that. We did a product launch for the Sony Digital Reader, numerous Verizon and AT&T phones, Microsoft phones.
So how would an entrepreneur actually get involved in something like that? Like
which one?
Being a part of, the Wii Fit company and just studying their business model and how you guys got it out there like that.
Okay. So this is the key. I'm gonna put you on game. Nobody pretty much knows about this. This is like one of the best kept secrets. There's an industry that's operating right underneath your noses called experiential marketing. When you see that hot chick with the Red Bull backpack, she's getting paid probably $15, $20 an hour to be there. But there's also somebody who manages that campaign. They have a field manager, and that field manager can make anywhere between $900 to $1,400 a week. And then you have, that may just be a local field member. Then you have tours. Now the tours allow you to actually, I was making like $1,200 a week. And I got a stipend, which was $1,200 a week. So I would buy my hotel rooms, rent my hotel rooms, pay for my food with that $1,200, and the other $1,200 I was able to stack. Okay. So, and the longevity in that industry comes from having your CDL license. So while my other tour managers were fighting fist over fist, you know what I'm saying, just going at it, trying to get the job, I didn't have that problem because I had a CDL. I was able to drive the F550 with the 47-foot gooseneck, or I drive the tractor trailer, any of the vehicles that they had. I was getting that money. You know what I mean? Because I had the skills necessary. Yeah. So that's why you see some of the people who, as they get older, nobody wants an older manager, but they'll take an older manager with that CDL license. Okay. So that was that's how people get into experiential marketing. There are a lot of groups on Facebook that talk about experiential marketing. Join those groups. Go to the company's websites. You got Marketing Works. MarketingWorks, Marketing Works, Momentum Marketing, Red Peg Marketing. There's a ton of staffing agencies out there. So if you're interested in getting that job, but you got to be on point now. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna go there. You got to go front of your mouth. They're not trying to do that because you're dealing with corporate brands. They have an image that they want to get across, and they want people to be able to articulate and know what they're talking about. So Stay in school, kids.
So a lot of people, a lot of young entrepreneurs that I meet, they don't want to put in that work, or it's not even putting that work. They definitely say, I don't want a corporate job. I don't want to answer to nobody, anything like that. So how did you guys humble yourself and know, like, okay, we got to do this experiential marketing thing to really get an understanding of how to get our brand out there?
Man, so we got started into experiential marketing, not because in the very beginning we knew about what corporate branding was all about. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have that skill set. But once we got into experiential marketing, because people were telling us about, oh man, Felicia got into it early. So she was doing it when she, like a year before she met me. So she put me on game. So I get, you mean to tell me I get paid, I get fed, I get housed to go on the road and promote a product? I get to, at the first time, my first one was the We Fit tour. So you mean to tell me you gonna pay me to go around the United States, to go into the West Coast, to go into these major cities that I've never seen? You gonna pay me to go have fun and play games all day? Yes. Hell yeah. You know what I mean? So like, and I don't have to be at work in my cubicle, crunching numbers in corporate America. Shit. And I'm gonna get a pay jump? Man, shit. Yo, I'm telling you, if you young, you in your 20s, man, that shit was so wild. We would go around to, like, say, Seattle, and while everybody's at work, we're just chilling there. You know what I'm saying? I got a D300. You know what I mean? I spent $2,000 on a camera going around recording and doing all the tourist stuff because we were off from work. We only worked on the weekends. That's another thing. So I'm over here with all these millionaires and elderly people that are people on vacation walking around, and they're looking like, what are these like well-dressed black people doing walking around during this time? And they're not working. What are they entrepreneurs? Like what is their background? Yeah. And I mean, we're sitting at nice restaurants, 5-star restaurants, you know what I'm saying, being able to just drop that money like it ain't nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and then they're just wondering like who these people are. So that was just like, that was one of the best things, man.
So with the experimental marketing, how did that prepare you guys to launch your own brand?
Because that gave me the insight on how corporations work. How much work, how much money they put into the customer experience and their brand. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Even how they market it. Like I was previously saying, we didn't have that experience. We learned that while we was doing experiential marketing. That's when we actually understood that part of the business and that engine and how it can propel your business. Okay. Because if you're able to create an amazing brand, customers are gonna come. So we created Feverish Pops. So we made sure all of the branding, the logo, the colors were popping and on point. And then we were like, okay, where's the experience? Who are the people we're trying to market to? How do we make this hip? So we got a fucking Scion XB. You know what I'm saying? We got this green metallic paint on there, pink letters, Feverish Pops. And you know what I'm saying? We riding out. We'll pop up at an event, catering event. Pop the trunk, we got music playing, we'll bring out like chairs and little furry ottomans and stuff. So we created a mini experience right there around the truck. So people would come there, take pictures, you know what I'm saying, have their popsicles and dance all night. And we had the big glasses where you can take your selfies and whatnot. We were doing that from Jump Street because we were already experienced in that while we were doing experiential marketing campaigns for Nintendo and Sony and Air Force and the National Guard, so on and so forth.
So a lot of young entrepreneurs just feel like, I don't have the time or I don't have the money to start this business or anything like that. What gave you guys the motivation with doing experimental marketing, making the money, not only just getting the experience, but what gave you guys the drive to say, you know what, we could step out on our own and create our own product?
We had $800 in the bank. So at that time, because the way experiential marketing works is that it may be on a contract basis. So when that contract up and you ain't stack your money, you know what I'm saying, you left with whatever you have. So we had $800 and we bought 2 carts off Craigslist. You know what I'm saying? Craigslist, ship those joints on over, and that's how we started. You know what I mean? We'll go to the ice cream distributor, purchase the novelty ice creams, you know, everything that everybody gets, the push-up pots, and the Sunday cones, the strawberry shortcakes. We started off like that until we stacked our money, and then we were able to get the equipment and purchase to start making our own popsicles and making them joints from scratch. And that again elevated us. And then we said, fuck that, we're gonna start putting alcohol in these popsicles too and call them Boozy Pops. Next thing you know, all the brands, like whenever Google was doing a corporate event, they want to sponsor something, and they said, okay, we want to give them a gift, then we get our popsicles. Playboy. We did Tom Cruise and his wife when they were shooting a movie in Miami. So all of these different people, we were standing contract with Biltmore. Every time BB&T came down for their investor meeting, you know what I'm saying? We down in Coral Gables at the Biltmore passing out popsicles and alcoholic pops. You know what I'm saying? Smoozing with millionaires and chilling. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's.
So I'm glad that you put that point out there to say y'all had $800 and you guys believed in, you know, what you guys started.
Persistence, bro.
So a lot of entrepreneurs make that excuse where right now I don't have the money to start. Mm-hmm. What would you say to those entrepreneurs that make those excuses?
Well, you need to stack that paper. You know what I mean? Because it's only your fault if you not saving money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be able to, I don't care if it's $1. You know what I'm saying? $1 every paycheck. You gotta be saving something. You gotta have a rainy day fund. And then you have to have the courage to be able to say, I'm gonna use my rainy day fund to try to scale this money, to get a return on this money. I'm gonna do this by investing in myself because I believe in myself. I believe in my ability to create a business. I believe in my ability to network and meet and talk to people who can actually help me scale whenever I have a issue or whatever. They can give me advice, who can mentor me. You know what I mean? You're always gonna have somebody. You got the cornerstone person. You got a ton of people that all you have to do is just ask. The lady who has the salon, or the guy who got the barber shop, or the mom and pop, you know what I'm saying, food truck on the side of the street, or trailer. They know how to operate a business. They know how to purchase product, mark it up, and sell it for a profit, and save and continue to reinvest so they can sell more and more.
So it's really no excuse for a person to really start their business. It's all on your determination and your will.
Oh yeah.
To want to get it done.
Yeah, there's no excuse at all. And the thing is that not everybody's built to be an entrepreneur. Okay. So you need to examine yourself and see if like you about this life. Because there gonna be sometimes you're required to pay other people before you pay yourself. Or you know what I'm saying, you gotta figure out like how you gonna pay for your daughters, you know what I'm saying, daycare or some stuff. You know what I mean? Because those are issues and you only eat what you kill. So how many of this product are you selling? How many contracts are you signing? You know what I mean? How you bringing in money for the business?
So with you leveling up, I would say it's leaving from Feverish Pops to creating Cold Fever and to starting Black Tech Week. What were some of the biggest challenges you guys faced from starting Cold Fever into leading up to Black Tech?
Oh, man, nobody believed in us, man. Like we had a few people that believed in us. I'm not gonna say nobody. But when you're starting off, even with your business, you know what I mean, people look at you and they're like, I don't know if I don't want to purchase from you, or can you handle an event this size, or like, oh, those are just the people that sell popsicles. They're cool, but they just sell popsicles. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know your background. They don't even know what you went through, what schools you graduated, where you worked at, how much money you been managing. You know what I mean? I was managing fucking $250 million at Target.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I was doing budget. I was doing forecast. I was doing the analytics. You know what I mean? I was presenting to a fucking VP of law. You know what I mean? The executive VP. So he was one of the right hands of the CEO. You know what I'm saying? The VP of assets protection, all the directors of asset protection, all the group managers, regional managers, all them cats. I was creating their documents so that they can understand where the money was going and how they can spend that money to grow and scale their businesses. So when you look at people just because they look at them in a certain way and dismiss them because you don't know what their background is because you haven't taken time to understand them. You know what I mean? Like that's going to hurt you. So that's what we were experiencing in the very beginning. And then nobody want to believe that technology could be a way out for the people in our community. You know what I'm saying? Technology is again, it's a great equalizer. It allows a mom and pop store to be able to compete with the Walmart. That's what technology does. They can create their own e-commerce site, and they have the relationships with the local community, so they can be making money and have the local community on lock, and then continue to scale. That's what technology allows you to do without the money. Previously, you had to have, you know what I mean? And previously, you had to have the capital to get the brick and mortar spots.
Yeah.
So you got to buy a building everywhere you want to go. You know what I'm saying? Or rent one in a 5 to 10 year lease. You know what I mean? So we have to understand, man, that there's gonna be all kind of obstacles. You know what I mean? And like from the very beginning, you had people that didn't believe in you. You have to be persistent. You have to be able to willing to sacrifice and accomplish what you want to accomplish, and then they eventually come around. You know what I mean? Eventually, you know what I'm saying? We got these supporters. You know what I mean? And so, Knight Foundation, Simpkins, the CRA. All the people who purchase our contracts, yeah.
And that's dope, man. To see the persistency and the belief of what you guys believe in. You know, a lot of entrepreneurs lack that because I think that, you know, with social media, it looks like a lot of things just happen for people. People don't see, you know, the grind and the work that you put in behind it. Like you said, that you worked for Target for years before you got a real understanding of how businesses ran, how to scale up and things like that. So with you guys creating Cold Fever and starting Black Tech Week, what are some of the things you're looking to do with Black Tech Week, and how are you guys trying to impact the Black community?
Okay, so Black Tech Week is about connecting technology professionals to entrepreneurs of color so they can get jobs with them, and that benefits both parties. As well as you're connecting venture capitalists with the startup founders so that they can invest in those companies, scale those companies, and get a return on their investment. So when they sell it or somebody buys their shares, you know what I mean, like the corporation can buy back the shares. So those are the kind of collision points, you know what I'm saying, the bump in the road, you know what I'm saying, the intersections that we want to create with people at Black Tech Week, because we created Cold Fever to train youth and adults, but how they get jobs. That's what we created Black Tech Week. And then we ran into the issue of, okay, now we have Black entrepreneurs coming. They want to connect with this talent, but they also need help. How do we connect them? How do we benefit them so they have an added benefit? And that was bringing the VCs. So now they're getting people to hire, so they're getting a talent pool, and they're getting the opportunity to get investment. So, and that's how we scale the organization. We did a double dip on the funding portion, meaning that we created a program called the VC in Residence, where we bring VCs from Silicon Valley to Miami to talk and to coach and to guide startup founders. This past year, we had Marlon Nichols, who used to be an executive over at Intel Capital. So Intel, the chip maker, he was investing in that capital, the venture capital arm, left there, created his own organization with Troy Carter, who was Lady Gaga's manager. So he created the whole Lady Gaga brand, and he's a venture capitalist. You know what I'm saying? So you think a lot of people in the music industry, a lot of athletes are not just playing, they making the bulk of their money outside of those contracts and those deals. You know what I mean? It's extremely hard for musical artists to make money these days. So what you get, the money that you do have, you need to invest it. And that's what Troy Carter was doing. So we brought him down. He gave office hours to each startup founder a week. And he brought 10 startup founders in his portfolio. So they got to hear from entrepreneurs in the same, or start from the same place that they started from, each week as well, twice a week. So those are the kind of things that we were doing. And 2018, another big thing that we're doing is a road show. So we're going to 10 different markets.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to New York, we're going to Philly, we're going to Atlanta, Charlotte, Detroit, Chicago, Kansas City, Cincinnati, LA, and Austin, Texas.
Wow, man. Definitely, Derick, I appreciate you sitting down with the Make It Count podcast, dropping these gems, letting everybody know that you don't have to have money to start. All you got to do is just get started. Is there anything else you want to share with the people before we close out?
Yo, if you're in Miami, you should have been at Black Tech Week. It's a national convening. This is where we talk about creating your own businesses, getting into technology, and making this money, because these cats over here in Silicon Valley are millionaires. They're becoming millionaires right after getting out of college because they're in tech. So our people need to get in tech. You all need to stay tuned. Keep listening to the podcast and watching the videos.
Hey, we appreciate you. This is the Make It Count podcast. All Like Minds Media, AYC. We out.